Hi friends, this is Bear and welcome to Aussie Bear Budgets and welcome to another different video than what I usually post. As you can see, I am all set up to do a bit of ironing. I thought, seeing I had to do this set of sheets for the lady at church, ready to take to church tomorrow, I thought, well, I would film for you how I iron a fitted sheet. So I'm not going to show you the whole ironing both sets of sheets and the pillowcases and all of that, because that would just take too long. But I thought I could just show you how I do the fitted sheet. So I use my kitchen table. I can do it on the ironing board. I can. But so if I feel lazy and I don't want to, get the table all set up to do the ironing out here, I can do it on the ironing board, but for the purpose of this video I thought that I would show you here on the kitchen table. So this is where I normally sit when I do my budgeting videos, just to give you some perspective. So this is my whole kitchen table. I have covered it with a bed sheet. The reason for that is because I use the steam option on my iron to iron the sheets, and it makes the table sweat and therefore wets the sheet, makes the sheet wet. So I would rather wet this one than this one. But I need the steam to get the creases and just to make it all look nice and neat. So that's why I have this down. All right, so I'm coming around this side. Hopefully you can still hear me. And I will just show you. So I've got the iron on. I've got the extension cord attached to my iron and leading over there to my PowerPoint. So I hope that you can see everything. I'll just bring this over here a bit more and I will show you my process. So first off, I find the corners. So this is the top or the end of the sheet, and find the other end. And I tuck them into this set of corners as well. So that basically, as soon as I can find the corner, basically the sheet is folded in half. Where is that other corner? There we go. So you have this one inside out. So this corner here is inside out, and it goes inside this one and matches up with this corner, which is the right way. And then you match up the seams. And there you've got your first corner. And then you do the same with the other side. So this one's inside out. You match it up with this one, which is right way. Now this is fiddly and annoying and does my head in because you're dealing with elastic all the way around. It's not like the old fitted sheets where it was only the top and the bottom that had the elastic and the side didn't. Now they have elastic all the way around. So there I've got my two corners. Just get this one sorted again. Oh, I've got myself in a terrible mess already. There it is. So basically what you need is a second person. So there's my two corners, and then I just sort of, I've got the wrong ends. Let's do this again. I had the sides. Alright. Only I could make it look this difficult. Alright, first corner. Second corner, matched up and stretched out. And then I just place it as easily as I can, because you're never going to get it perfectly flat. You're just not, because it's all gathered. So I do the best I can. Make sure everything is lined up as best I can. like that, like that. Now, of course, this is longer than my table. I'm just tucking it under in here, trying not to burn myself on the iron. And there, Miss Pippin has come to help. Excuse me, what are you doing? That's hot, don't you touch that. Come on, get down, good girl. All right, I might have to pause you. I think she's gone to the litter tray. I can smell it. Okay, that's dealt with. And I've sprayed so that I don't get overpowered by the smell, because Miss Pippin can be stinky. All right, so I just flatten it out as best I can, given that you're just going to have bunching, because it's kind of unavoidable. And then I start here. I want to get this nice and flat here. So I start in the center. Now this fabric is kind of a nightmare. I don't know what kind of fabric it is, but it's not a cotton. And it's not the easiest fabric to iron. So I get the main part like ironed and crease free as best I can. Like that. Get up in there. That's it. Now I don't worry about flipping it over and doing the other side. The reason for that is because I have it on a high temperature, which is pressing the other side anyway. And when I start to fold it, the other side is going to get ironed, because when I fold and start to press the creases in, the other side is getting ironed then. So I don't worry about trying to turn it over, and I need to be working from this side anyway to get the folds. Okay. Right, now I just need to move it up just a bit because I've got overhang here. And so I need to move it up just a smidge to get that. Just to get that center crease. Sometimes I feel like I put more creases into it than I iron out of it, but she has never complained, and she has actually told me, because she did have another lady doing it for her, but the other lady moved away, and so that's when she approached me, and she has told me that she loves the job that I do. So I'm very thankful for that, because sometimes I don't feel like I do the best job, but I do the best I can. Alright, so I'm moving this back down to get my flat shape again. Now this might horrify you, but what I now do, get that straight there, is I just press along here just to get a crease along the edge and basically flatten these down. I can't get these straight because of the elastic, so the best I can do is flatten them down so that when I fold it, it will fold flatter than it would if I didn't press the creases. So I find myself leaning all over the table when I do it on the table, just to cover as much area as I can and to move the sheet around as little as possible, because it's all sort of shaped in a way that keeps it as flat as possible. I don't want to be moving it and getting it out of shape. And so I leave it in one spot and drape myself over the table. I try and keep the corners in place as much as I can. I mean, so much of it is unavoidable, like these creases, it's unavoidable. Alright, so we've got the bulk of it done. Just give this another go over. Straighten it up. Alright. Now, then I fold this side into the centre and give myself a straight line. I don't worry about this, but I give myself a straight line down here and put the first crease in. I go over this bit just to give this a press and get any of the creases out. Now I've got overhang down here, so I'm just going to flip it up just to press the overhang. And then bring it back down again, get it all back into shape. So that's one side. Then I bring over the other side. Straighten that up as well. Get that crease all done. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see here, but the steam is starting to wet the table under here. And I mean, some of the sheet will get wet, that's unavoidable, but at least it saves it from getting as wet as it would without this bottom sheet. Give a go over here just to get rid of these creases. It's actually been quite an achievement, because the first time I did this for her, I was horrified. And I almost felt terrible charging her because I felt like I put more creases into it than what I took out. And I have since watched YouTube videos. I've taken notice also of how the sheet was packed when it was new, like when we've bought new sheets, because I've been doing this for this lady for quite a few years. And so when I've bought new sheets myself, I've taken notice of how the fitted sheet was packed and how it was folded in the packaging. And that's really helped me to get this method. So that on the inside, okay, it looks like a hot mess, but on the outside, it's nice and uniform. Okay, so now we're going to fold this right over to here, line it up, and get a nice line down the center here. So this is the center, and we're going to iron that crease in. So it's more pressing it rather than ironing it, because you're ironing over layers of fabric and you're ironing over bumps. I'm just going to move that over just a smidge, just to line that up there. That's better. Now I'll just move this up to get this bottom bit. And part of the secret is folding into the center. So don't fold edge to edge. Fold edge to center, even on your ends here. And that way the edges are going to look so nice and neat and crisp. So rather than me folding this right up to here, what I'm going to do is fold it inward to here, and the same on this end. And then just give it a press. It's not going to make much difference, but it just gives it a press. Presses that last side. So that's a lot of steam. Just go over it a little bit more. And then finally, we fold this up to the end. And there we go. So we have our nicely folded fitted sheet. It lays nice and flat. Now the bag that she has given me is about half this size, so I am actually going to fold it one more time so that it goes into the bag like that. And that's how it looks. So it looks nice here. It's nicely folded. You've got no sticky out bits. And that is how I iron a fitted sheet. Now, whilst I have gotten it down to a fine art now, thanks to YouTube videos, I hate it. I still hate ironing a fitted sheet. So whenever I do her set of sheets, I do the fitted sheet first to get it out of the way. So now that I've done that, I still have the flat sheet and the pillowcases to go. Let me just have a quick look and see how the time's going. Okay, 16 minutes. All right. What if I do the flat sheet? So let's move this out of the way because that's ready to go. I've got the two pillowcases there. So the flat sheet is a lot easier because basically you're just folding it. So I fold it into quarters. So this is the top. You can see because it's got that edging. So I'm going to go top to bottom. And I make sure I match up all the edges. I mean, doing the flat sheet is so much easier because it's just like doing a big tea towel. If you iron your tea towels. Or a big handkerchief. So you get all of your edges meshed up, like lined up. Now you can see that when this was made, it's not quite even. But I have lined them all up so that they're all, so you just have to work with that. Make sure this is all nice and neat. And the other side. And then I fold it in half, leaving this feature edge outward. So I'm going to fold it this way and match everything up again. Like that. And then put it on the table so that it's all nice and flat. Just press, straighten out all these seams. Make sure there's no lumpy bits. There's a lumpy bit there. That's got it. Nicely straightened out there. Now this sheet, this particular set, she's got two sets of sheets that I iron for her. And this set is the worst of the two. Because it's not quite, I don't think it was cut on the grain, so it tends to like not fold accurately. You know, it folds sort of skew with. But I mean, again, all I can do is work with what I have and do the best I can. And as long as I know that I am doing my absolute best, then that's all I need to worry about. And if ever she's not happy, then she's not happy. But like I said, she's never had any complaints at all. So, I've got winter nose. Give me a second. Winter nose. All right, let me just get a bit of water, top it up. Because on this sort of thing I use a lot of steam, it goes through the water fairly quickly. Okay. Now again, I don't flip it. I know I'm ironing through 4 lots of fabric this time, but that's why I go over it so repeatedly, to let the heat soak through and get the creases out of the centre part, which effectively is going to be the bottom of the bed. So it doesn't matter quite as much, but this iron is on the hottest setting and I do use steam. Especially on the edges to get the nice creases. Alright, and then I need to move it up for the overhang, and you'll see when I flip this up, I don't know if you can see it there, but you can see how it's not lying flat. And that's because of how the fabric was cut. And I can't do anything about that. All I can do is flatten it out the best I can and press it flat where I can. Because it's like, you know, some clothing, t-shirts and that you know just weren't cut on the grain, and so of course they don't sit flat the way they should. But I just press it in such a way that I can get it as flat as I can, and then use the steam to get that creasing. But I can feel, even under here, I can feel there's some bumps. But, you know, I can't do much about that. Okay, then I bring that back down, and it's the same principle as with the fitted sheet. There we go. Get that out. So I fold into the centre, not edge to edge, because then it just keeps it all so much tidier. Now I just need to go around here and move that up a bit because it's just slipped. There we go. So I want to move it up so that it's still all lined up. Beautiful. So we're going to fold this side in first. And you can see it's not lined up here, but that's because of how the fabric was cut. And the top and the bottom are different widths, which is another reason why I like to fold into the centre, because that stays hidden then. So fold that into the centre. And then give this a press. Get this crease in. Now, I don't imagine that ironing your sheets is going to be something anybody wants to undertake. It's not something I'm inclined to do with my own sheets, I can tell you. But at least you can see that it is possible without driving yourself insane. Now this has been trial and error. Like I said, I've been doing this for this lady for a couple of years now, and it's been trial and error. So it's been learning better ways to do it. So like I said, when I first started doing it, I was terrible. I was terrible. I never even ironed sheets for my mother. Not that she ever wanted them ironed either, but it wasn't something I had ever done. And when this lady asked me, would I do some ironing for her, I'm like, yeah, no worries. And she didn't even tell me what she was bringing. She just brought a basket, or not a basket, a bag. And all that was in it was a set of sheets. And I'm like, what? Wow. But, you know, having said that, perhaps if she had have told me that she wanted me to iron sheets, I might have said no. And because I might have thought to myself, I can't do this. I can't do this. But I have since learnt that I can do this. And I have learnt how to do it well. I think so. I believe I do it well. And it's a source of income that I might have missed out on because I was afraid. Because seriously, when I first realised she wanted me to iron her sheets, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, how particular does she want me to be? Because I don't have the wherewithal. Like, I don't have a big ironing press or anything like that. So, you know, I might have let the fear or, you know, lack of confidence in myself get the better of me. And might have missed out on this income and this skill that I've learnt. And like, I'm better at it now, and I'm still open to better ways of doing it. So if any of you guys have any ideas on better ways that I can do this, I am more than happy to hear it. So this lady usually gets me in the winter time. I usually do her sheets every 2 weeks, and in the summertime every week. Now, because we're folding a top sheet that has this feature at the end, we're going to make sure that feature is on the outside. That's the only time we do this. So we are starting from the bottom and we're just folding it up like this all the way. So that this feature ends up there. Now, I'm not happy with that. You see that? I'm not happy with that. So we're going to do that again. We're going to make it a little bit bigger. So let's just move it up a smidge. That's better. There we go, that's much better. And there you go. So that's how the flat sheet looks. Now we'll just give that a bit of a press, just to give that a nice, have that sit down much better. All right, and seeing we're here, let's do the pillowcases. So we've got 2 pillowcases. These are easy to iron, especially on the table. Now again, you've got your feature up here. So we're going to flip it over so that the feature is on the back side. And then we're just going to press this. Oh, I hate ironing these. I don't know what type of fabric it is, but it's just not the best to iron. It's very slippy, slidey fabric. And her other set of sheets, which is made with the same fabric, has a smell to them. Like, and I know she washes her sheets, so it's not like, it's not that kind of smell. It's almost a chemical smell, which leads me to believe that these might have been purchased from a Chinese company, because I have found with some Chinese items that I've bought on Temu or something like that, that they do have a chemical smell to them. But this set is okay. This set doesn't smell. Let me just flip that over, iron this crease in, and then fold fold it in half, and you've got your feature on the outside, and that's done. So we'll do the other ones. Put the feature face down. And that's the other thing, is they fill with air. Like, it's whatever fabric it is, it's not breathable because it just fills with air, which makes it hard to iron as well. But she obviously likes them because these are the only 2 sets of sheets she's got, or that I've seen anyway. So, and she rotates them, like I said, in the winter every 2 weeks, in the summer every week. And then this sheet, I just go and put this on the line just to air dry it. And then, because it's clean, it's just been ironed over, and it's, you know, got steam spots. So, and it's just a single bed sheet. We don't have any single beds now. I just keep it for purposes like this. And there we go. And so what we have our flat sheet, we have our fitted sheet, and our pillowcases. And there we go. That's her ironing done. So that took me, what does it say? That took me half an hour because we're on 31.43. So, but I charge her for an hour because I worked that out with her. It's a fiddly, annoying, difficult job. So I just charge her a flat rate of $25 each time. So there you go. Thank you for joining me for this video. I hope you found it enjoyable. And please like, subscribe, comment and share, and hit the notification bell. And stay tuned for my next video. And in the meantime, take care, God bless, and I love you. Bye-bye.